So universal basic income. This has been a very, very, very big topic. It was trending on Twitter just the other day for the Congress to pass a UBI for America. And I'm sure many people are wondering why. So first things first, universal basic income. What is it? I'm sure many of you know at this point, but I'll talk about it anyways. So a universal basic income would be a set amount of money going to everybody in a set country, or it could be scaled down as well. But for this example, we're talking about the whole country. And the purpose of UBI is with everybody getting it, there's no stigma, and the basic part of it is everybody has their basic needs met, is generally the goal of it. And then income is just obviously the government paying us our tax money back, essentially. And why has it been such a big topic lately? Well, this whole pandemic has really, what are we at? I think the last figure was about 26 million people have successfully filed for unemployment. Successfully is the key word there, because a lot of stories I've heard are across the country, individual states' unemployment systems have been more or less failing or just unable to handle the massive amount of new people filing. So the government has, with the previous stimulus package, they were relying on boosting unemployment benefits, which doesn't really seem to be working since people can't really get them. And honestly, the bureaucracy of that just is added cost, which is one of the big arguments for a UBI, is we cut out all the bureaucracy, everyone just gets a check written to them. And yes, it's expensive, 100%. But then people's needs are met. And I think at a minimum, this is a pretty easy case to argue for the duration of this pandemic, because so many businesses are just closed and cannot open until this is resolved, which we could be looking at quite a while. Because an important part to consider here is, yes, it does feel like we are almost getting over the hump of the initial outbreak. But if we reopen too quickly or do not have adequate testing and contact tracing, there will be more outbreaks, which means we will have to re-enter lockdown mode, which means businesses will have to close again, and the whole thing kind of starts over. So the whole concept of the UBI is everybody gets their basic needs met, which means they can stay home without fear of financial ruin, which then means that we can get through this faster. And then on the other end, once we are through it, people will, by not being in financial ruin, be able to either A, get their previous business that they had going started back up, or B, potentially start a new business. There will be more opportunities if we give more people money. For sure. So for me personally, I'm on the side of, I think we should have a UBI period. Just thinking of all the innovation that could come out of everybody's needs being met and being able to not focus on survival, but focus on thriving, I think would be huge for this country. And I know people are always worried about, everybody just sitting around at home having checks coming in, but there would be some of that, but I really don't think it would be a problem. Like for me personally, if I had an income that I just had coming in, for now I would keep working my job, because that would just be sweet to be able to build up a larger emergency fund, pay off debt, build up a nest egg. Like all of that would be awesome. And it would also allow for freedom in the future to work on your passion or start a business, a lot of stuff. But at a minimum, in relation to this pandemic, it really needs to happen because people are not going to want to stay home for an extended period of time if they're afraid of losing their house, losing their business, not having food. And that makes sense. That is totally understandable. So people need to be covered during this. So at a minimum, we should get a universal basic income going during this pandemic. But long term, the country, I think, would be in a much better place if we did it permanently. But let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video.